Alright, so for anyone doing a front wheel hub replacement for 2000, this is a 2008 to 2009, I believe. I think it works for both, but so if it's the full assembly like that, then this is what you got to get to. So this is the old one, and I took the speed sensor off the back and took the 4 bolts off, but then I didn't want to come out because it's lip right here, but it's like hella corroded, a little bit of rust on it, builds up in here. You just gotta get all that out. But to take it off, the dust shield comes with it. Basically what I just did, because I don't have any real air tools, I got it like this. I took a screwdriver and then tried to take it to the corner right here, and I hit at it a couple times, actually a lot. And then I also put it inside there with the threading right there on the corner, and then whacked at it some more. Then I also did something like this, and then you can hit on that with a hammer. Just press a wrench on there. And then finally I just started whacking it from the back right here, and then hitting it from like this direction. I'm doing both sides, so I have the car on jack stands, so it's really easy to rotate the wheels to get access to the back of the spindle when there's both wheels able to move. So I highly suggest putting at least the front on jack stands so you can maneuver the wheels. You don't have to take off the other side if you're only doing one side, but it's gonna be stuck in there. You just wail at it with a hammer basically, and then you can spin the shield after you take the 4 bolts out the back and wail on it a little bit. You'll eventually be able to spin the shield, so it'll actually be able to rotate, and then you can get access to the bottom to hit on this right here from the bottom side. I'll try to record it next time I'm doing it on the other side. I just realized there's nothing on the internet for this, so if you guys are trying to do this, I felt your pain there for a minute. This is actually just hand pressed all the way up against it, so it doesn't actually need to be machine pressed. It's just a really, really snug fit. Oh, it's in there now. Anyway, I kind of want to put some grease or something back there, but oh well, fuck it. So basically, I just used some 80 grit sandpaper and cleaned out inside there so that it's smooth contact again. I preferably wanted to put some grease in there, but I wanted to test fit it, and I guess it's stuck. So, don't forget to put this back on. Don't do what I did. If you're gonna test fit it, put that back on. Alright, got it out again. So, what I did, if you did do that, is I stuck a flathead right between the bolt and the new hub. And then, well, I stuck my flathead in between there, and then basically just popped it up on the top and popped it up on the bottom, and it came off. So another thing that you're gonna run into is that the top ones are closer together than the bottom ones. They're actually farther apart for your bolt pattern. So looking at your hub assembly, you can notice that the bottom is farther spaced out and the top is doing that. That way, so the sensor in the back lines up properly. It needs to be on the top. So it just sits right inside there, and you can put your bolts in back through. Just make sure you put your shield back on first. Don't do what I did. Alright, you guys, so I'm currently in the process of taking this wheel hub bearing out on this side. So, as you can see, this is what I'm working with right now. Made the gap, and then stuck a couple of flatheads in there. How I made the gap, because there won't be a gap there, and it's basically impossible to stick anything down there when you first get it like this. What you gotta do is rotate the wheel completely to the right, and then where this opening of the shield is, wail on it this way. Give it a good solid hitting. I'm using a pretty decent sized hammer. This isn't like I was using that hammer before, I wasn't cutting it, so I had to get something a little bit bigger. But wail on it this way, and then you should be able to get the flathead in between there, and then I hit it with the hammer down, and then on this side, rotate the wheel all the way to the left, and then you can get this one inside there. And then I'm about to start on top of the bottom one. You can see there's starting to become a gap. I'm gonna start with the bottom one with another flathead on this side, and then rotate it to the right, and then do it on again on the other side. And eventually, what I might be able to do is grab this guy right here, or actually, I'm gonna use, this is the one I was trying before. See, smaller, bigger, a lot more leverage with the bigger tools. But I'm gonna go ahead and stick this guy right on there, and then give it a good couple hits towards me down, and see if I can pop it off once all 4 flatheads are in, and then I'll recap once I have a little more progress for you guys. So I literally just took it off and then started recording. So make sure you have your stuff out of the way, because this flew off and hit the drill and the shield came off separately. But yeah. So what I ended up doing, I didn't really have to rotate the dust shield too much, more as rotate the wheel. That's what you're gonna have to do a lot of. That's why I recommend having at least the fronts jacked up. Some jack stands, and the wheels are there for extra protection. But so with this one, this is the second one I'm doing, so I actually found a faster tactic of doing it. The screwdrivers work to a certain extent. Once it comes out far enough, they're just gonna fall out. So at that point, once the screwdrivers no longer have grip, I actually only use 3. So one here, and I got one down here. This one, when this one fell out up top, I started using it down here to try to like free up the bottom a little bit. But just rotate it left, right, whale on it from this direction, whale on it from this direction. That's where the shield won't block you, because this is where the caliper bolts up. So whale on it from over here, whale on it from over here, and then use the screwdriver from the bottom a little bit. There's really not too much prying you gotta do. It's more of just wedging it in and keep nailing it further down until like it separates all the way around the ring. And then once that happens, and then the screwdrivers can't be held in there because it's just too far out already, then just keep whaling on it and you're in the home run. You just got to keep going for it. And then turn the wheel, notch out this way. It actually broke loose for me hitting it this way, and that's why it flew over there. But it doesn't really matter. Just hit it this way, hit it that way. And then I'm going to go ahead and spray some brake clean in here. 80 grit sandpaper, wipe down some shop towels, maybe put a little lubrication inside there, and put the dust shield back on. Best thing I found is put a bolt in each corner. You can do all 4, doesn't really matter, just something that holds the shield up, and then you can go ahead and try to press the new bearing inside there and line everything up, and that's pretty much it. Oh, one other thing I did notice, these are the old bearings. They have the holes on for the rotor to these guys right here to bolt through, but on the new one, apparently they don't see that as really necessary, so they don't have any holes in them. So I figured it's probably because the wheel bolts up to it anyway. Here's the other side I just finished. So as you can see, there's no bolt there, no bolt down there. I'll probably ask somebody if that's what they recommend doing. I might just tap it out or something and put my own bolt in. Who knows? For now though, I'm just gonna do the German standard, the Guten tight, and make sure all these lug nuts are evenly tightened down properly, and then make sure that the rim is stuck to it. So hopefully those bolts between the rim and the rotor, doesn't really matter. This is actually, believe it or not, a basic set of tools that you're going to need for the job. It'd be a lot easier if you had more tools. I actually need to borrow some from a couple friends. So some things you are going to need. So the 17 actually bolts back here. So 17's for the actual caliper bracket. And then it's a 14 wrench with, what is that? Sorry, 18-inch wrench with a 14 for the caliper itself. So the 18 sits on the inside, and then the 14 you can take the bolt off the back where this rope is tied through. So remember not to let your caliper hang by the brake line. It's not good for it. And then, sorry, the 14s are actually on the back. I believe these are 14s. So these are These green ones are the ones that go through here, and these are 14s. Wherever my socket is for that one. I have it on the 1/2 inch. 1/2 inch makes it so much easier to get these bolts out. You can actually do them by hand without having an impact because there's not much room back here for an impact. But I definitely highly recommend a 17-inch socket for taking the bracket for the caliper off. These two right here, because if you don't have that, it's going to be interesting. Alright guys, so I just got finished cleaning this out. As you can see, it's actually a lot. Well, I can't really see too much. Well, it is a lot cleaner because I'm not getting crap on my hand when I run it around here anymore. Well, I used some 80 grit sandpaper, that stuff right there. Some brake clean. Went ahead and sprayed some inside here. Well, sanded it out, sprayed some, wiped it out, sprayed some again, wiped it out. It's probably not going to get too shiny unless you have some air tools with like a wire wheel or something. I don't have that. But as long as it's smooth, should go in nice and good. Well, I guess we'll see. But yeah, after you scrape this out, clean it, it should be ready to go. Just go ahead and make sure you put your dust shield on. Always put your dust shield on before you put the new wheel hub inside. This is the old one, but new one's up there. So yeah,